On February 4th, Texas will join more than a dozen other states in offering a school choice program called the Texas Education Freedom Accounts Program. I've been following this since before it passed in the Texas state legislature. This is how one family hopes to benefit from the program and how much money you could get for your students.
The sooner you get them into school, the better opportunity they have in life.
For Vanessa Aragon, that early education option for her son was the Rise School in downtown San Antonio.
Speech therapy, music therapy, sensory therapy, occupation. Yep.
Appa is 3 and he's on the autism spectrum, and this school has helped him in ways his parents didn't expect.
When he started at 2 years old to now, you heard him, his vocabulary is crazy.
He got a lot of words in there, yeah.
A lot of words, his social skills. He was not a very social person. Do you want something?
I want a cupcake.
You want a cupcake?
Yeah.
And they don't want to part ways with this because of finances.
Because if it wasn't for financial aid, he would not be able to go to school.
That's where the Texas Education Freedom Accounts program comes in.
It would help ensure that we can put both of them through the Rice School so that they can both learn the same things and grow in similar ways.
The Texas Education Freedom Accounts passed through the state legislature in April of 2025, and they were signed into law in May.
School choice is now the law of the great state of Texas.
So I'm here at the state office building in Austin to sit down with Travis Pillow, the person the state brought in from Florida to help launch this TIFA program.
Students with disabilities are going to be the number one priority.
Students who have a documented disability could receive up to $30,000 per student per school year. Students who plan on going to private school could receive up to $10,474 per year. That leaves students who plan on being homeschooled receiving up to $2,000 per student per school year.
There are 20 other states across the nation with similar programs like this. We have the opportunity now to learn the best of what they've figured out.
So that's what we're doing too. We're heading to Arizona, the first state in the nation to launch a school choice program using those state tax dollars. We're meeting with families who have already been a part of a similar program to hear the pros and cons of school choice, and with the man in charge of it all. We're in Phoenix, Arizona. We're here to speak with families who are already receiving money from Arizona's Empowerment Scholarship Program. It was important for us to come here because Arizona was the first state in the nation to launch a universal education savings account program.
For my son, I use it to pay for a private kinder program.
Now they call them Empowerment Scholarship accounts, and they were initially rolled out so that families who have students with disabilities could send them to private schools and homeschools without such a large financial burden.
For the half-day kinder program my son is in, it is over $16,000 a year in tuition. I have 2 children on the autism spectrum. For my daughter, that is being home educated. Dyslexia, she has dysgraphia. So we use hers to pay for curriculum, to pay for reading specialist, an additional math specialist to come into the home.
Is this private school somewhere that you would have been able to send your son without ESAs? Was this in the picture before that?
It existed. Was it attainable? Absolutely not. I'm a single mom. I don't got that kind of money.
Arizona has had its issues with the program. We found that one fraud scheme landed a married couple pleading guilty to fraud at this Maricopa County Superior Court. That issue landed the woman in jail for 14 days and the man spending 2.5 years in prison. According to this indictment, they faked dozens of students' school enrollment to defraud the ESA program of more than $100,000 without even living in Arizona. And that's not the only issue Arizona's run into with their ESA program. So I'm at the Department of Education speaking with the man in charge, Arizona's Superintendent of Public Instruction, Tom Horn.
There was a problem in the past, but it won't be a problem in the future.
Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays wrote a letter to Tom Horn in August of 2025 threatening to investigate inappropriate purchases. It says that ESA holders have used their accounts to illegally purchase diamond rings, lingerie, above-ground pools, and more.
As soon as we discover something like that, we suspend their account so they can't do anything until it's all resolved. Then we demand the money back.
The state has received $1.2 million paid back, and they have 100,000 students enrolled in Arizona. In our next story about these savings accounts, we're heading to a private school with ESA students. Texas Education Savings Accounts, also known as School Choice, is a program that will allow students and families who meet a certain set of qualifications to receive state taxpayer dollars to fund their child's education. This could be a homeschooled or a private school education, and this follows in the footsteps of several other states around the country that already have school choice programs. Arizona's school choice program is called Empowerment Scholarship Accounts. It provides families around $7,500 per student per school year. That's a couple $1,000s less than students in Texas could receive for private school if they don't have a disability. And Arizona has expanded its program so that everyone can apply to help send their child to a private school or homeschool.
Now, under our current system, the parents can find a school that does meet the child's needs.
So we came here to a local private school in Phoenix, Arizona, to speak with families who say that this program is the only reason they were able to send their students to private school.
I wish I had it growing up because I would have been able to go to private school that way.
Otherwise, we would not have had this opportunity.
Simon Kreisberger's 3 children have all gone to Pardes Jewish Day School.
It has done wonders for our family. Literally afforded us the opportunity to give our kids that secular and Judaic education that we really strive for, but originally couldn't give our kids, and then really that ESA program helped bridge that gap.
The ESA program offsets their tuition cost, making it more attainable for him to send all 3 kids to this school.
And I'm now seeing the final results of it, seeing my kids off in the world, doing what they're doing, having that strength, having that confidence, and all of that has just been, for me as a father, all the things we work for and everything that we want for our kids, my kids are now experiencing it.
I got to spend the day at Pardes and learn why parents chose this school to use their ESA app.
This is our main playground. We have another playground over there.
From hanging out with students playing basketball during their lunch period and others learning art techniques from a young age. Even a math lesson where students led the class, helping each other out. Carrie Lerman's daughter also went to Pardes through the ESA program.
She's a junior in high school, and she's on track to go to some absolutely amazing universities. And ESA has become a game changer.
But the option to choose has had an impact on public school enrollment in states with ESAs, and our next story will tell you about it. One of the big questions when it comes to school choice and paying for private school education is what happens to the public schools. Can you talk about the impact that this has had on both public schools and private schools?
Well, I think the impact on public schools is positive because competition makes everyone perform better.
But opponents of school choice programs told us they wish public schools were getting more funding instead of the possibility of losing money.
Ultimately, we wish, the public school system in general will be funded.
Since state funding is tied to student attendance, and less students enrolled in those public schools would also mean less money from the state for those schools. So I sat down with the Texas Education Freedom Account spokesperson to see what their expectations are for public school achievements.
In states where these programs have scaled up, public school performance has actually improved.
While performance may have improved, Arizona has seen a drop in enrollment at public schools.
Although they lose the income that comes with the students, they also lose the cost of educating the student. And what really matters is not total dollars, but dollars per pupil.
Look at this through the eyes of a parent. A lot of times it's not a question of public school versus private school. It's what's going to be best for my child. Over time, as this program matures and develops, public schools will be able to offer individual classes to families who may benefit from a class that their local public school offers while they're also homeschooling or utilizing a private school.
The application portal opens on February 4th, so families hoping to cash in on the program will have from then until March 17th to get their applications in. Nonprofits like School Discovery Network are available to help families apply.
The system should automatically find a lot of things. The one thing the system won't find automatically is tax returns. So families should definitely be prepared with their most recent federal tax return so they can prove income.
There's a different price point for different families, whether that be wanting to go to private school or having a child with a disability. Can you talk about just the logistics of the program?
Students with disabilities are going to be the #1 priority.
They need to have either like a note from a doctor or they need to have IEP documentation.
To get that individualized education program, or IEP, families of students with disabilities will need to set up an IEP assessment at their local public school district. Yes, even if your student has never attended public school. Then families who want to send your child to private school, you'll need to go ahead and decide which school you want to send them to, because not all private schools will be TIFA approved. There are rumors circulating online that, depending on religion, will depend on how they're accredited.
The comptroller has sought guidance from the Attorney General regarding the authority of the comptroller's office to ensure that all schools that are participating in this program comply with the law, and there aren't any affiliations with terrorist groups or foreign adversaries or anything.
Attorney General Ken Paxton ruled private schools and vendors can be excluded from the TIFA program. We are working to learn which schools, if any, are currently blocked from participating in the program. Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.